Hey y'all, Fat Man Outdoors. Hey, if you liked the video, click that like button and click subscribe so that you'll get notifications whenever we post new content. Appreciate you watching. This is the Fat Man. I'm gone. Hey y'all, Fat Man Outdoors. As you can see, I'm back out in the wild blue, maybe mostly green yonder. Okay, it's the 20th, or maybe it's the 19th. Maybe the 19th is today, of August. Okay, so we're right there on bow season. It's 30 days before crossbow season. I don't bow hunt, but I am going to crossbow hunt this year for the first time ever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat this area the same way I do every year when muzzleloading season gets ready to start. Is I'm going to, what I call, kill the area for 30 days. Today will be the last day that I physically come into this area where the whole property, where I've got all my feeders set up, my cameras set up, where everything is set up and ready to go. This is where solar panels truly shine. Solar panels now are remarkably cheap. You can get them on Temu or different sites like that, 40, 50 bucks a piece. They're 6 volt or 12 volt. They work. I've got one on the feeder that you can see there in the camera right now. It's been in there for over a month, not an issue whatsoever. And it's not even a feeder that came with from them designed to run off of their solar panel. This is one that I bubbed, that I took a feeder that was one of the old style that you put the square 6 volt battery inside of it and clipped on with the little alligator clips, and I wired in a wire that would plug up to my 6 volt solar panel that I had, the extra one I had from Camel Jojo camera, and hooked it up. Runs like a top, throws corn way out. There's corn 25 feet away from it, every bit of 25 feet. Runs real good, throws corn twice a day, never had a bit of issue out of it. Very important these solar panels are, because now, especially when I want to kill this field, I want to take all human presence in this field away for a month. Now I've got corn in that feeder, I've got a battery on that feeder that won't go down, everything is set up, my camera's pointed where I want it. My camera is a camera I can live view, or I get automatic pictures sent right to my phone from that camera, so I know what's going on. Hanging just off to the side of that camera, you'll see there's a rope hanging there. That is one of the golden ropes that you put the scent on. And buck deers, when they come in, they will smell that. When they're checking stuff out, they will play with that horn. And a lot of times, when season starts, that little rope will cause you to get a kill, because the deer will come in, he'll come to that rope, and he'll spend time just standing there, knocking it around with his antlers and trying to rub his scent on that rope off of that gland between their horns. And that a lot of times will give you that shot from 25 or 30 yards away with a crossbow, or 100 yards away with a muzzleloader or a rifle, him standing still, quartered away from you, perfect shot, put it in the middle of his ribs, bottom quarter, down he goes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, after I get done here, what I'm doing, I'm dropping a little bit of salt block, and I'm going to drop some crushed deer attractant, not in blocks. You can get different flavors. You can get Acorn Rage, and you can get Persimmon Crush. You can get a lot of different, you know, I think they have, I think you can even get deer cane that's crushed, it's not in a block. I'm still out on the fence on that, because I've got a block of deer cane that's sitting up here at the feeder that I built that's just a feeder that gravity feeds, and I've seen a couple of deer mess with that, but that's about it. So I don't know if these deers here just don't like it, if it's not the time of the year for them to like it. I don't got a clue. But they don't, to this point, they don't seem to want to fool with it much. What I do seem to have a lot of interest in is this stuff. And this is, it's from Wild Game Innovations, and it is Persimmon Crushed. Okay, and it is a very fine powder. You'll see I'm going to pour some out here. And I just pour it around on the ground. Now, especially in this ground where it's nice and hard, and it doesn't sink completely out of their reach, and they don't have to spend forever digging at it. It'll stay right here on this hard ground. They'll lick at it, they'll paw at it. Again, it's one of those things when they come into the area. and they'll spend just a few seconds, even if they're not going to eat it, even if they're not going to fool with it, but they'll spend just a few seconds standing still. If you got something that will consistently cause you to have a broadside standing still shot where it's just a, hey, target practice. You know, I mean, it's going to make life so much easier on you if you'll plan for these things. But again, that shutting down your hunting area, that's one of the major things. You've got to kill that hunting area for at least 30 days. If you've got all solar panels and you've got feeders that hold 100-pound of feed like these hold, you can do that, not a problem. I mean, you can have your cameras good set up on solar panels. You don't have to worry about them unless you got a bunch of crazy coons like I got, and sometimes they get stupid and tear stuff up. And you can just throw your stuff out there, put everything out you're going to put out, salt blocks, crushed stuff. Make sure your feeder's got corn, make sure you got good connection and everything's in good shape on your solar panels. It's best to try to hide your cables some way. I don't really know a good way to do it because if coons gets on them, they will swing on them and they will unplug them. I pretty much got all mine in a good spot except for one. And one, I have had occasion where they unplug them. Well, if in this 30 days if they unplug them, I just won't have any footage from that camera because I'm not coming back. Last year, I think it was a deer maybe that got in them because it was unplugged. When I come down there, I couldn't find the cable. And it's a 10-foot cable. It was unplugged from the solar panel and unplugged from the camera, and it was packed 20 feet. I just happened to look back in the trees, and it was 20, 25 feet back in the trees laying back there. So I kind of almost want to think that a deer had come up there and was pawing around and rubbing around and got his horns caught in it and took it back there. But anyway, got it back and everything was okay. But if it gets pulled, if it gets unplugged now to the first day of crossbow season, I won't go to it. Now, second thing, real quick, I'm trying not to make this video too long, but got a lot of stuff that needs to be talked about because this is very important. I hunt a food plot. You say, what are you talking about? You hunt a food plot. You're sitting in front of 20 acres of soybeans. That's a food plot, okay? With the amount of coons that I have right now, and I can't do anything to live trap them because they're not in season, deer are getting pushed away from the feed. They're hanging around in this area because there's feed here, and they'll come in and feed before it gets dark and try to get ahead of the coons and get some of this corn and get some salt, and then they'll spend the rest of their night out in that soybean field on the edges. That's what I want right now. What I want is come in here and hunt this food plot in the second half of the day. I don't want to come in here before noon, but I don't want to come in here after 2 p.m. I want to come in here with enough drinks and the equipment that I need to where I can stay till dark. But number two, and this is maybe the most important part of this, is I want to make it to where I can come in and leave quietly. I can't walk a long way. So I use a power chair a lot of times if the weather's not bad. If not, then I just have to ride Greenie to within just a little ways of my blind. But what I do is I brush in a place in a fence row so that I pull her right in there and you can't see it. The only thing is it can be heard. But the good thing about that is because I make regular visits down through here all through this winter, all through the spring, all through the summer. They get very used to seeing and hearing me. Okay, so the noise of me being down in here, that's just normal farm equipment coming through. They don't pay me a whole lot of attention. So I just come in, go straight to where I'm going, don't piddle around, shut it off, walk to my blind, get quiet, set up, and I'm there to stay till dark. But that's what you got to do. Don't consider large ag fields as not being a food plot. These soybeans right now, they're absolutely torturing these soybeans. You can watch them, sometimes there'll be 10, 12, 15 deers. Bucks, does, little ones, all out there, and they ain't doing nothing but just cutting the top off these soybeans. And they just constantly walk along milling. And a couple of times a night, they'll make a ramble back down to the feeder, pick up a little bit of corn or lick some salt, and then they'll go back. But in that first run, when they come in during the afternoon, they almost always come to the corn first to try to see if they've beat the coons to the corn so they can get some corn real quick, and then they'll go back into the soybeans. And when they go back into the soybeans, it's almost always, probably 90% of the time, they go back on to this right-hand side over here, and they go within 20 yards sometimes, eating of my blind. A couple of does have literally walked right up to it. They didn't smell it or anything because they were literally like 2 yards away. But even the bigger bucks that we've seen have come right by in daylight hours, in like say 6 o'clock, 6:30, have walked within 20 feet of that blind and pay it absolutely no mind. But it's because I put that blind up back early in the summer, and I leave the window open so that they're always seeing that big black hole, you know, and they're used to that big black hole there. Don't leave all your windows up so it looks camoed in, and then the day you come in to hunt, you open up all the windows, and then all of a sudden there's camo and the universe, and then more camo. Okay, deer see that. Okay, if they don't see the color, they'll see the pattern has changed. And it'd be like if I come into your house and take all your white lampshades off and replace them with neon pink. As soon as you walk in your house, you go, oh wait, what's this? Something's wrong. Okay, so the deers do that very same thing. They understand what's in the area where they're at. That's why if you put out something new like a feeder or a water or something like that, it takes them a little while for them to decide if they want to go to that. And a lot of times what they'll do is they'll watch other animals like raccoons, possums, skunks, groundhogs, and see if there's any animal activity happening around those things, and if there is, what happens to those animals when they go there. But guys, these are just things I wanted to share with you to explain what I'm doing and how I get ready for early season deer hunting. Because it's going to be hot weather and you don't want to have to track one for a long time. You want to get a good ethical shot and a good close shot where you can put that broadhead where it needs to be so that deer gets down quick. Y'all, I hope this video was something that helped you understand a good idea of things to do to prepare for early deer season. And I hope to see y'all in the next video. And I hope to see you out there somewhere. This is a Fat Man. I'm gone.